Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode, we have got Juve in a massive game in the Serie A, which, if we were to win, would narrow it down to a two-horse race, I believe, in the league. And we've also got Lazio away in the quarterfinal of the Copa Italia. Since we last met, we've played a few games in the league. Not the greatest start since the restart of the Serie A competition, and we've obviously made it through our first game in the Copa Italia, and lastly we have gone and finished inside the top 8 of the Champions League officially. We're going to recap that as to right now. Since our last game, which was that crazy game against Bayern, Atlanta, Napoli was a draw, comeback against Cremonese, only won 1-0, drew to Roma, and then we beat Sampdoria 2-0. Beat OJ Nice to officially qualify, beat Regina, fully rotated against Hertha Berlin, which means we did draw, which means Barcelona, because they have one win, one more extra win, even though they lost, finish ahead of us. We actually tie on points there with Chelsea, and we are only one of 3 teams that are undefeated. As you can see, Liverpool are yet to lose as well, but it's great that we're going to be avoiding all those sides. Big shit out of Wolfsburg. Huge for them to get in there. There's teams that are lurking though. Manchester City are there. Dortmund, we wouldn't mind redrawing though. Real Madrid just make it as well. And Juve knock out, I think, Inter, unless it's a top 22, then Inter are in as well. But yeah, look, very good to finish inside the top 8. Hopefully we get a good draw. Now, in terms of the league, we did drop a few points, and then Inter actually have a game in hand in us, which is why this game's important. We lose this game to win that game in hand. The league's definitely on, and allows Juve to maybe think about getting back into contention too. But, I think if we win this game, we only lost 1 all year, we would then be able to, probably run away with it, finish top 2. And that's going to make the board very happy. In terms of the board, they're happy yet again of us signing another 23 players, even though they're not happy with the commercial revenue. They're still saying they're going to sell the club. I haven't seen it yet. In terms of transfers, money, up to 25k. The board actually said, do you want to increase your age? I said yes. And then Yannick Adley, apparently Milan sold him for 3.8 mil. He's just been sold on for 20 from his other club. We've got a percentage of sale clause, so we get 5 mil there, which is nice. So we're actually in a pretty good spot financially as well. In terms of the team, we have officially assigned Hiroshi Iwamoto, who has played a couple games, ready 2.5 star, 18 years of age. I'm telling you, if we don't win things this year, we will be here until we win things, because this team is absolutely nutty. I've probably made AC Milan too good in the future for trying to beat them in competitions down the track. In saying that though, if we win the Champions League with this team, we don't have to worry about that going forward. It's then all about just trying to find a team to win the Europa League with in terms of Europe. Saying that though, let's get into it. It's Juve, because we got Lazio afterwards, and it is a full strength side of Manigan, Calabria, Kalu, Tomori and Hernandez, Ismail Benacorva, Dani Olmo, Tonali, Giovanni Reina, Victor Roque, Rafael Leao. Let's go and see what we can do. Can I just say, Leao's been getting a bit injured of late and has had the flu, but he's still got 15 and 18. He is wanted at the moment by Liverpool, but yeah, not happening. And Victor Roque, by the way, yeah, what a wonder kid. He is fantastic as well. We could nearly do that, but we're not going to, because Victor Roque's played well. I think the last thing I'll say is that we definitely need a 10 that is out of this world. Giovanni Reina not really doing it. Tisney's now on the same level as Reina. Probably could bring him in, but his form's not been great. And Miko, by the way, has already got 10 goals all year. Very good footballer. I don't know who to play in the 10. We could play Dani Olmo in the 10, but I find every time he plays in there, he doesn't get a good match rating. I feel like when you play Shadow Striker, you need to play the complete footer drop in. So I actually feel like with Rafael doing that, I'm almost tempted to make a role change into here, someone that's a little bit more creative. But look, we'll leave it as it is for now. It might be something that I'll play around with second half of the year, or maybe you even get to see here against Juve if it makes a difference, because I've just been struggling to get any performance out of any of the 10s. And when you think back to our Hippers side, the 10s were doing very well because complete foot will drop in and the Shadow Strike will get beyond. Obviously not happening when Leao was on the last man, so maybe we need to start looking at putting maybe a playmaker on support, even though we've got Dani Olmo in there, and attacking midfielder on support, someone that can just sit in the hole and distribute as well. Anyway, Victor Roque, great ball there to Giovanni Reina as we talk about him, and Rafael Leao were 1-0 up. Shadow Striker's fine. Stop complaining, Damien. We 1-0 up inside 9 minutes against Juve, who are historically one of the best teams in in Italy, obviously. But yeah, great move. Victor Roque dropping in. Love the pressing forward role this year. And well, Rafael Leao is just very, very good at what he does. I'm very happy with him as well. Tonali, ball in. Cleared away on as far as Giovanni Reina. Again, Tonali. Giovanni Reina falls straight to Vicario, who has been the number one for Juve, which I think is their biggest problem. I'm telling you guys right now, Juve might be the team we try to win the Europa League with, because if they ever drop into the Europa League, we are going to move there. I just don't think they've been very good at all in this save. Anyway, Rafael Leao heads just over. And off we go. I'm getting a mate texting me from the main event. Yeah, nice, he made the final table. Good lad. Anyway, we continue on 1-0. 1-0. 26 minutes played. McKennie. Oh, it's a mistake. Manigan doesn't save me. It's a defensive mistake. And Fabio Moretti, who's a fantastic footballer, makes it 1-1. Bit annoying that it's a match engine, graphics engine sort of thing yet again. Fix your games. But, look, can't do much. McKennie with a ball. Tomori's world class. That's never happening. Anyhow, we concede. It's 1-1. Been the better side, though. A lot of promise. Tonali, who we rejected a 70 mil bid from Manchester City for in this window as Fernandez goes just wide. Rejected it, complaining he wanted higher wages. We've signed him to 180k a week. He ain't leaving. He's world class. His promise was to be on all set pieces. He already is, so that's fine. But yeah, look, also had a little bit of transfer business there. Danny almost picked up a knock of some sort. His fitness has dropped considerably. Locatelli beats the sliding tackle of Roque. And ball chipped in. Fernandez wins it on the press. Rafael Leao now. Tonali. Roque. If he's onside, that's superb. I've got a sneaking suspicion he was off and Giovanni Reina was on. It could be the other way around. They're both very close. Might be both offside. It is offside. Shame. Good ball. Giovanni Reina made a nice run. First time we've seen that, really. Yeah, Roque's off and Reina was on. Wish we left it for Reina. But yeah, unfortunate. Danny Olmo not 100%. Fresh the arms. What's the knock? Feels like he can shake it off. Find out. We're going to give him... His fitness has already returned. I'm going to give him another 10 minutes here and then I might drag him. He's on a 6.6 anyway, so I might just drag him. Ball gets headed back to Manigan. Who to bring in? Andre Gula's actually been really good this year, so he probably just like for like. Tempted to bring Tisney in because he's been fantastic in terms of his growth. Anyway, Kalu on the ball. David Calabria drives, beats. Victor Roque. Giovanni Reina again in a great spot. Danny Olmo misses. Rafael Leao decides not to shoot. Oh, wow. Big moment. Vicario with a decent save. Olmo really should give the keeper no chance. We are going to make our first change here. Danny Olmo is off for Andre Gula. We do not want to see too many injuries. On paper, because it's Juve, you take a point. But, yeah, knowing the goal they've scored, a bit annoyed that it is 1-1. Tomori. Great ball. Theo Hernandez loves the whip it. And Vicario will claim easy after the deflection. Vicario looks long, looking for Kezia. And Calabria heads it into Kezia. Mercifully, he gives it back. Kalu now. Tomori. Theo Hernandez. Kalu. Tonali. Calabria. Kalu again. Victor Roque. Calabria. Roque. Got to whip it. Does. Giovanni Reina. Vicario saves again. He's having a world of a game. Is the Italian keeper who was our backup. He's the number one for Juve. He's not played yet for Italy. It's a weird signing. You expect Juve to go after better players to be the number one. But yeah. Tonali now to whip in another one. Calabria. Probably highlight over considering it's from a corner. And it is. 68 minutes play. We are going to make a change here. Calabria is looking legless. Going to bring him off for Byers. Had a pretty good year. Tonali is on a booking and looking legless. Don't like taking him off, but I'm going to give you guys a look of Iwamoto in a big game. Huge. And Tisney's going to come in. I'm actually going to try this, I reckon. Just attacking mid on support. Sit in the hole, dictate. See what happens there, mate. We make some changes. I think that is the best I've seen the Shadow Striker play, though, this year. 76 minutes played, it is 1-1. 60% possession. Time does tick. And it does tick. And it ticks again. Going to make one last change here, I think, as well. His name's Fer Hernandez for Mikalenkov, with some legs at the back end of the game on the overlap. Could be huge. There's a corner, but it's because we're making a change. Could we find one late? That could be nice. Time ticks. Not a highlight. It's 1-1. It's a defensive mistake by Tamori, as they would say, but it's more of a match engine issue that cost us a win. Played quite well, had XG of over 2, a couple of great saves there from Vicario, even though he gets a 6.7, even though he made some fantastic saves. I'm happy we sold him. Let's be honest, I'm very happy we sold him. He's only conceded 16 this year, but yeah, definitely not a keeper that should be starting for Juventus long term. But look, should have won the match based on the stats, is what I am going to say. They took well to it. And I'll see you guys in 3 days' time for Lazio, who, look, they're a good side. We should beat them, but we are away from home, which is the biggest thing of all that. Saying that, 60 points, 8 points cleared. Inter do have 2 games in hand to realistically put a lot of pressure on us. But points on the board's massive. It's another draw since the restart. That's okay. See you guys in a second for Lazio. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, YouTube. It is the Olimpico. Gattuso's in charge, and Lazio are a very good side. Let's see what we can do here as well. Team's looking in pretty good shape, but we do have a couple of interesting decisions to make. Firstly, Rafael Leao out with the flu. We've had Tonali, and we've had, I reckon it was Tamori, have both had the flu in the last month. Someone else has had the flu as well. I reckon there's just a big lot of COVID going around the squad. I keep sending him home, and it keeps coming out that someone's got the flu. So that's not nice. Amico is coming in. Giovanni Reyna's not been particularly great. I thought last game he was probably the best. He's going to keep his role. Ismail Benacour's not 100%, but if he gives me a good 45, that's fine. Tamori, maybe not 100%. Same with Theo Hernandez. When you play Juve the last game out, maybe you got to just do what you got to do. Theo Hernandez is a very good penalty taker. I think, just in case this game goes to extra time, you start Michaelenko, and then you can bring Hernandez in as a penalty taker. Is Tamori a penalty taker? Not really. Is Koulibaly a penalty taker? Not really. Just in case one of them could take a pen. That's the thing. I always want to have penalty takers on the bench, just in case you need to give someone like Andre Gula can take a pen as well. These are the things I think about before a cup final. Or a cup final, please, I wish, before a cup ties. Who can we bring off the bench that can take a pen if needed? Obviously we're not going to potentially start penalty takers on the bench. Tonali's not really one. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. With that being said, Miko's going to start. Tisney, can he take a pen? 9 penalty taking. Giovanni Reyna, can he take a pen? 10, so it does not really matter. Yeah, we don't actually have good penalty takers. Is that a thing? I thought we were a lot better at pens. Andre Gula can take a pen. Luis Alberto can take a pen. Forget that. Our backup keeper can take a penalty. Wow. I'm going to bring Daniel Peretz on last sub just to come in and actually take a pen. That could be interesting. Obviously starting Manigan, but maybe... How old are you? How old are you? How tall are you? 6'2" versus a Manigan that is 6'3". Man, there might be a case to do a keeper swap in the last minute. This is all theoretical, but it's important to know. Look, they're a good side. We're going to be a little bit tight. I feel like we're going to need to start well here. And obviously, no Rafael Leao is massive. 4-2-3-1, good side. They've still got a Herrera. Antonio's usually world-class on FM. Pretty good. Malasia's Malasia. Romagnoli's fairly good on Football Manager too. Obviously, they got Milinkovic-Savic up top, in the hole. Zakangi is a very good player. Olivia's not bad as well. Felipe Anderson's very tricky. Look, they've got a decent side. They've got Boyadu on the bench as well. Cataldi's on the bench. You can tell why they're fighting for Europe. But look, this is a game on paper that we should be better than them in. For me, it's going to be, can we start well? Especially with us not having Rafael Leao. And us being a little bit tired. Like Benacour, we're already booking in 1 sub for Benacour. I know in some competition you can only make 3 subs. Hopefully that's not the case here. Anyway, Savic with a great ball out to Felipe Anderson. Great movement. Zakungi's there. Great block there from, I don't even know. Might have been... They reckon Calabria's come all the way across. That's a moment. Deflection, falls to Felipe Anderson, cleared away mercifully. Wow, Lazio starting well here on the front foot. Lazio starting on the front foot very, 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 very well, boys. Anyhow, still 0-0 somehow. So that's fine. 18 minutes played. Time ticks away. Tonali with a set piece corner. Part of his new contract was to be the main set piece taker, so I'm glad that he's on everything anyway. Kalu's going to hit one over the bar from the centre back. But that's not bad. Don't mind that. Bit of promise here. 26 minutes played. Ball in. Tamori heads over the bar. Very good cut and thrust of this game. You can see that Lazio are definitely playing a very good brand of football and they're dominating the game, possession, etc. But I think we're dangerous on the break. Obviously, Rafael Leao makes us more dangerous on the bait, but I think we're dangerous on the break. With that being said, though, they've been the better side. It's another corner highlight, and that one falls into the hands there of Provedel. Yeah, Provedel? Yeah, Provedel. Anyway, Casale. Felipe Anderson turns. Good ball there to Zakungi. Marcus Antonio. To be fair, if Lazio were to score from this highlight, they probably deserve it. They've been the better side. Ball in's pretty good. That's a header. Zakungi goes within a whisker of a 1-0 lead for Lazio. We realistically have not had the better of this game. And in reality, unless Tonali scores an absolute worldie, which, look, that's a great save from their keeper, our chances have been very few and far between. We haven't really cut them apart, and they're dominating us with this 4-2-3-1. Saying that, though, ball in, front stick, cleared away by Milinkovic-Savic. He's pretty good in the air. And that's probably going to be all she wrote here for half-time. Going to get in, thrash the arms. Not particularly happy. We are going to make a change. Benacourt is dead. And Odenaker's like for like. I also think that this has been a pretty poor game from Giovanni Reina. I'm actually going to bring in Adre Gula. And it is actually to move in as a little bit more of just drop in, get on the ball, and create some. He's pretty good at what he does. He can take a penalty if needed. But yeah, we need Adre Gula to get in here. Maybe start getting on the ball. Start helping us get some possession back, maybe. Time ticks away. Tamori's pretty dead out there. 60 minutes played. This is the thing. We're now juggling. Guys that aren't 100%. Danny Olmo's pretty dead too. Might actually move into Tisney now. And we're going to go light for light. One on attack, one on support. Just need a little bit more creativity. We're finding it very hard to break them down anyway. Koulibaly. Kalu. Tonali. Odenaker. Adre Gula. Tonali. Calabria. Numbers are queuing here. Calabria might go for it himself. Doesn't. It's a header and it's in from Tisney, of all people. Or was it Roque? Roque's the one celebrating. I thought it was Tisney that headed it. But I reckon we've got a lead here in the 60th minute. We haven't been great in the cup. But that is a goal. We do lead 1-0. Tonali. Adre Gula and Tonali linking up quite nicely. And then Calabria with a chip ball in. I thought it was Tisney. It was definitely not Tisney. And Roque heads home in his preferred advanced forward role. We do lead at 1-0. Mikolenkov is dead. Calabria is pretty dead too, to be fair. Fear Hernandez, definitely the one that has to come out, though. Fear Hernandez, definitely. Now, the reason why is if we somehow do concede, it goes to extra time and pens, you've got your best penalty taker on the park. The rest of the team's just going to have to tough this one out. Another poor match rating for the ball-playing defender. I think we just got to go away from it. Marcus Antonio, Herrera. Ball over the top. Koulibaly does well. Kalu, Tonali, Tisney, Amico, Adre Gula. Tisney was there. Adre Gula, Victor Roque. Amico's effort blocked. We're probing. Ball through, Amico's offside. What a save. Anyway, Provedel. That was a fantastic save. Is there a moment for Lazio late doors? They've dominated this game, you feel, as well. You almost feel like we've FM'd them a bit, just looking at the stats. Game's not over, though. Tonali could make it game over, just over the bar. Took the tip of the bar as well as it went through. 16 shots, 9 on target, 1.6 XG, and they haven't scored lots. Yeah, they would feel aggrieved. But we keep a clean sheet. We have not played well. A few tired legs out there. We've probably got Mannigan to thank a little bit too because he's had a pretty good game, our keeper. But we do win 1-0. We're going to make the semi-final of the Cup. Because of all the games I'm pretty sure are being played over this weekend, we're going to know who we're going to play, I think. Or it should say at least in our schedule. Win the quarterfinal. We don't know what's going on. Mikalenko wants to be more important, maybe. We're going to have Juve or Udinese culture. I'm going to have you guys for that Udinese game. Maybe they get through. I'm going to have you guys for the Juve game next episode. Semi-final of the Cup, here we come. And hopefully, we get through that game there. If it's Juve, it's Juve. If it's Udinese, we're odds-on favourites. I'll see you guys next time. What an episode. Inter still on our heels? Yeah, but the Italian Cup? Just maybe. And I'll see you guys then. Thank you and goodbye.